I'm going to write a short program that would display my name 100 times on the screen, and I'm going to use line numbers to do so. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a variable called max. And when I use a capital letters as such, it's no longer a variable, it's a constant, meaning the value of max will not change as the program is running. I'm going to need my loop control variable, which is count. I'm going to set that equal to 0. And here's my statement, while count is less than max. Remember, capital letter is constant, never changes. I'm going to say count plus equal 1, add 1 to the counter, and then print my name. So I'm going to display my name with the counter in the print statement, and it's going to look just like this. Print the counter, Dennis Hunchak. Let's run that and see what the output looks like. Let's run that and see what the output looks like. So here's the output. There's my name 100 times. Instead of 100, what if I want to display my name 1,000 times? Go up to this constant and I run the code. Boom, there's my name 1,000 times. What if I want 10,000? Change this constant. Boom, 10,000. What if I want 100,000 or even 1,000,000? Boom. Takes a few seconds longer, not that much longer. But my name is going to be printed 1,000,000 times. Imagine writing that as a bunch of single printfs or print statements. There's my name 1,000,000 times. Not sure how far this lets me scroll up. As far as it goes. So the window's limited on how far back I can go. So there's a simple little program. Let's do a different one. This little program is going to sum all the multiples of 5 between 1 and 1,000. So whatever the multiple of 5, so that would be 5, and then 10, and then 15, and then 20, and sum those numbers together, and I might as well count them as I do it. So I'm going to come inside of main, and again I'm going to use max, and I'm going to set that constant equal to 1,000. I'm going to need my loop control variable, counter equals 1, and total equals 0. So there's the variables I'm going to need. Actually, I'm going to have one more variable. I'm going to keep track of how many times 5 was a multiple inside of there. So I'll use another variable called multiples. Okay. So I'm going to need a while loop, something like while count is less than or equal to max. This time I put less than or equal to because I want to include the endpoints, and typically in between it would be 1 and 1,000 inclusive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to accumulate the total plus equals, plus equals, plus equals. So there's my accumulator. And then I'm going to, oh, no, sorry, my bad. Don't want to do any of this. Inside of here, I want to see if it's a multiple of 5. So whatever this number is a multiple of 5. To do that, I believe I'm going to need an if statement. So in my if statement, let's just make sure this is indented properly. Enter, tab. So I'm going to say if the current number is evenly divisible by 5, then it's a multiple of 5. Now I want to do what I said I was going to do, only as a part of the true part of my if statement. So somehow in here, I believe I want to say total plus equals count, multiples plus equal 1. So every time this is true, I increment multiples. Every time this is true, I take the current number and add it to my total. Okay, now I'm going to leave the if statement. So I'm back on the same level as the if statement. I got to be careful, so I'm going to do this slowly. So I'm going to try to do it slowly. All right, so I'm going to come back to the same level, lining up with the if statement, and I'm just going to say count plus equal 1. I don't want this to happen dependent on the truth of this if statement. I want this to happen every time. After this all runs, the last thing I want to do is display the results or the output. So that's going to look something, I hope, like this. And I'm going to want this outside the while loop. So this is a one-time deal. It doesn't happen with the while loop. So I loop max times. If it's a multiple of 5, I add whatever that number is to my total, and then my multiples, just keeping track of how many times that was true. I'm going to run it. So between 1 and 1,000, there are 200 multiples of 5. That makes sense. And the numbers add up to this. What if I added another 0? No big deal. And we can continue. What if I brought it just down to 10? That should be pretty simple. 5 was in there and 10 was in there. 5 plus 10 is 15. And I found it 2 times. Take a quick look or a careful look at this, and what I recommend is you go write this on your own without looking. I'm going to do one more. Okay, here's my third example. We're going to pretend like we're writing a program that generates a 3-digit lottery number, and then we're going to pick our favorite number, and we're going to see if our number matches the lottery number. As we do this, we're going to show all numbers, and we'll generate 1,000 of them or something to that nature and see what happens. Okay, here's some serious notes right here. You need to copy this. You need to pause this screen and copy these notes right here. So you need to pause and copy or write this down. First of all, import random. All programming languages have a series of library files. These files contain various functions. In order to generate random numbers, you need to use a random number function. You must place the import random at the top of your code. So there's a function called random that's in this library. Import random. Java uses import, C uses include, Python also uses import. Now, let's take a look at this particular piece of code right here. Number gets random dot rand range start comma end comma step. This is going to return a random number between start and end, and it's going to be incremented by this number. So let's say it's 3. So all the numbers between start and end that are multiples of 3. That's what that does. More commonly would be this guy right here. This generates a random number. The computer will do it between start and end, and it's a random integer number. So whatever start equals and end equals, it'll generate a number. So in the lottery case, lotteries are 0 and 999. That's what we would use. If we want to deal in floating point numbers, we would use number gets random dot random. And that's just going to return a number with a decimal place between 0.0 and 1.0. And the final flavor of random number generators in Python is this function random.uniform start comma end. This is going to return a floating point value in between start and end, where start and end are floating point numbers. Okay, that's important stuff. And again, you need to copy all of this and save that in your notes, everything in blue. So pause it and copy it because you're going to be using random numbers quite often. Okay, so here's the program. My program's going to start with my import random because I need that so I can use the random function. Inside of main, I'm going to set my upper and lower bound, max and min. I'm going to count how many times I want to generate a random number. Now this I can ask the user to pick this number, but I'll just set it for this program. My favorite number is going to be 777. I'm going to loop between 0 and 999, and notice I have equals to or less than or equal to, so I'm going to loop 1,000 times. This is going to generate a lottery number for me between 0 and 999. This is going to display that lottery number, 1 dot number, 2 dot number, and so on. If the lottery number matches my favorite number, it's going to display I just hit the lottery. Regardless, it's going to increment the counter. Let's see. So again, I'm going to run this code. When it runs, it's going to produce output, and I will show you the output. So what it does is it produces random numbers between 0 and 999. Here they are. All these numbers are randomly generated. All these numbers are between 0 and 999. There's the 999. So far, not one of these numbers was 777. So if I was playing the lottery, I would not have won for the first 260 drawings. I would not have won for the first 365. So if I bought a ticket every day for a year, it would have cost me $365 and I would have not won anything. Still haven't won. And I finally did after my 672nd drawing. So it would have cost me $672 to win 500. See if I hit any more. And I didn't. So it cost me $1,000. I got 500 back. I only lost $500. I'm going to tell you what you don't learn here. Don't play the lottery. Run it one more time. I'll run it one more time. Let's go backwards and see if we hit. I did hit right there after 602. See if I hit twice. If I hit twice, I break even. 3 times, I win 500. And you could write this code, run it. Again, I would have lost another 500. Okay, go do your homework. There's several looping problems for you to work out. Thanks. See you next time.